Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. A very good morning. Here we are going to start the remaining portion of the unit number 4, photosynthesis and respiration in plants from your course book Amazing Science. So before starting the unit, there are some instructions which I want to share with you. First of all, complete prepare yourself for taking class means keep your book, copy or a pen with yourself to note down the important terms or the point. Next point is if you have facility to take a screenshot of the slides, kindly take it. Next is if you are not from the related class, so kindly remove yourself. Next one is do not raise hand during the lecture. Ask your question at the end of the lecture by using chat box. Next is take care of your time for attending the class. Next one is home task should be done in your fair subject copy. And the last one is if there is any disconnectivity during the lecture, try to rejoin again within 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, first of all, this is the unit number 4. This is unit number 4 from your coursebook Amazing Science. The name of the unit number 4 is photosynthesis and respiration. Today we will focus or study the respiration in plants. Respiration in plants. Okay, students, you will be very surprised to know that the plants do respire. In this class, we will learn the process of the respiration in plants. Plants respire all the time because plant cells need energy to stay alive. Plants respire all the time because plant cells need energy to stay alive. During this process, plants use atmospheric oxygen to break down the glucose into the carbon dioxide and with the water with the release of energy. If you will focus towards the definition for the respiration, it is the process of the breakdown of glucose. Means glucose will be break down by the help of the oxygen. Means in the presence of the oxygen, if the glucose is break down to release energy, this process is called respiration. As well as you can also say that the change of gases is called the respiration. Means when we breathe, similarly, we take in oxygen inside our body and given out carbon dioxide. So similarly, this process is same inside the plants. When plants do respire, it gets oxygen inside it and given out carbon dioxide during the process of respiration. And always remember, student, the respiration process is opposite to the photosynthesis process because in the photosynthesis process we use carbon dioxide and oxygen will be emitted out, but in the respiration process oxygen is used and taken in and carbon dioxide is given out from the leaf. Okay, so what is the definition? It is the process of breakdown of glucose. Means the breakdown, there is a breakdown of glucose which is prepared when the photosynthesis process been done. So by the usage of the oxygen, means in the presence of the oxygen, this glucose will be split out, means break down into the carbon dioxide and water. Means there are two byproducts, carbon dioxide and water will be emitted out, and also it will ultimately give the energy to live the plants alive. Okay. Or you can say that there's another definition for the photosynthesis is for the respiration is a process leading to the chemical breakdown. Means chemical breakdown means oxidation of food materials to provide energy for living things. Currently focus on the definition, a process leading to the chemical breakdown. Breakdown means chemical breakdown of which substance? The chemical breakdown of food. And what is the food here? Glucose. Here we're talking about the glucose. So there is a breakdown of glucose just in the presence of oxygen. That's why we call that process oxidation. Means chemical breakdown means the oxidation. Means something is breakdown during the process of leading to the presence of oxygen. So to provide the energy for living things. I hope it is clear. Internal or cellular respiration. Okay, class, first of all, we will observe there are two types of the respiration. First one is the external respiration. Second is the internal respiration. And we call internal respiration, in other words, the cellular respiration. Why we call cellular respiration? Just because it is done inside the cell. Means plant use cellular respiration or internal respiration. Why we call this? Just because of respiration done inside in the cell. Means each and every part of this plant will respire and its cells will be respired. So, what is the cellular respiration? The process by which cells in plants and animals break down glucose, means the sugar, and turn it into the energy, means there is the breakdown of glucose to emit out the energy, to produce energy, to stay the plant alive. There is a breakdown of glucose just in the presence of oxygen, and this all the process will be done inside the cell. That's why we call that this one is the cellular respiration or the internal respiration. Okay, respiration in plants. We will discuss how plants respire. How plants respire. So first of all, when we talk about the roots, so roots respire through root hairs. Roots respire through its root hairs. Second one is stem. Stem respired through epidermis. Stem respired through its epidermis. Similarly, the third part is leaves. So leaves respired through stomata. Leaf respired through the stomata. There are three main components of the plant, but the areas are different. Plant respired through root hairs. Stem respire through epidermis. Leaves respire through stomata. Respire means it will take in oxygen inside in the cell and give it out carbon dioxide from its cells. This is called the exchange of gases or the respiration, which is done inside the roots, leaves, and stem. So root respired through its root hairs, stem respired through its epidermis. What is the epidermis? Epidermis is the outermost skin, outermost layer of this stem. And leaves respired through the stomata. What are the stomata? Stomata actually the opening which are present inside the leaves, or mostly found on the lower part of the leaves. So here today we will focus on the leaf respiration through stomata. What we will focus? We will focus on the leaf respiration, how leaf respire through the stomata. So what is the stomata? Actually, this one is the structure of the stomata, and in the singular form, we can say that this one is the stoma. So this one is the open stomata and this one is the closed form of the stomata. What is the stomata actually? The stomata is a tiny opening or pore that is used for gaseous exchange, means to exchange the gases. What is the stomata? The stomata is a tiny opening or pore, means this one. This tiny opening or this tiny pore that is used to gas exchange, means to exchange the gases inside or out of it, and these gases are carbon dioxide and oxygen. Means during the process of respiration, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out from this pore. But during the process of the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is moving in and of, definitely oxygen will be given out from the this opening in the process of photosynthesis. So the second thing is they are mostly found on the undersurface of the plant leaves. As we already shared, mostly stomata are found on the lower part of the leaf. Air enters the plant through this opening. As we already shared, air means air is the combination of gases, means there is a oxygen, there is a carbon dioxide. So air will be entered through these openings, means through this opening. It is protected by guard cells. What is the guard cells? Guard cells is also a type of a cell which is also present in the plant cells. So we can say that guard cells actually protect this opening. These are the guard cells. Means this one, these are the guard cells, and this one is the opening. To protect the opening, there is a guard, two types of the two guard cells, which also control its opening and closing. Okay, what is the function of the stomata? Means how stomata works. Stomata have two main functions. Always remember, student, stomata is not only used in the gaseous exchange. So there is a two main function for the stomata. First one is it allows gaseous exchange. It allows gaseous exchange. Gas exchange means there is exchange of gases, and we all are know there are two types of the gases, means oxygen and carbon dioxide will be exchanged here. The second one is it regulates water movement through transpiration. It regulates the movement of water inside its leaf through the transpiration process, but we will focus towards the gaseous exchange because here we are talking about the respiration and photosynthesis process. So, stomata is useful to allow the gaseous exchange, means to exchange the carbon dioxide and oxygen. Similarly, this one is the structure of stomata. Okay, this one is the outermost structure. This one is open stomata and this is the closed stomata. During the transpiration process, water will be moved in or outside. So there is an opening. This one is the guard cells. There, there is the there is no opening means the stomata will be closed here by the help of the guard cells. So when we talk about the internal structure of the stomata, so this one is the internal structure of the leaf. There are chloroplasts, there are the vessels, there is a stoma. A single opening, we call that opening stoma. If there are multiple openings, means we call that stomata. So there is an opening. By the help of this opening, air enters or given out. So this opening is called stoma or stomata and is most and you can easily be observed this opening mostly found on the lower epidermis, means it is found on the lower side of the leaf, means there are lot of stomata mostly found on the lower side of the epidermis, means on the lower side of the leaf. So there is a stoma, means there is an opening which is protected or guarded by the guard cells which control its opening and its closing. Okay, students, there is a differentiation between the photosynthesis and respiration. So, what is the photosynthesis and what is the respiration? Always remember, during the process of the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water is required. So, water will be absorbed by the help of the root hair and it will transfer by the help of the xylem to the plant's leaf, and carbon dioxide will be absorbed from the atmosphere and it will absorb inside by the help of the stomata which are found mostly on the lower side of the leaf. Similarly, the third thing is light energy. As we all know, photosynthesis means photo means light, and the synthesis means putting together or the manufacturing something just in the presence of light. If there is light, definitely photosynthesis process will be done. So at the end of the reaction, two byproducts will be produced. First one is the oxygen and it will produce sugar. What is the sugar? Actually the glucose here, means at the end of the reaction of the photosynthesis, glucose will be appear, will be produced. Means what is the glucose? Glucose actually the food of the food of the plant which is prepared by the help of the photosynthesis process. But in the cellular respiration, means the respiration which is occur inside the cell of the plant. So cellular respiration is totally opposite with the photosynthesis. Always remember, student, photosynthesis process always done during the daytime because there is a sun. But the cellular respiration occurs all the time. It is a continuous process. It is done also in the daytime and as well as in the night time. So, first of all, cellular respiration. For the cellular respiration, plants need or use oxygen to take in and given out carbon dioxide. And in the photosynthesis process, carbon dioxide is entered while the oxygen is given out. So, by the help of this, at the end, energy will be produced. How energy will be produced? The sugar which is formed by the help of the photosynthesis process, it will break down. Means there is a breakdown of the glucose now. So glucose will be breakdown by the presence of the oxygen. In the presence of the oxygen, there is a breakdown of this glucose. Ultimately, it will given out two substances as a byproduct. First one is the carbon dioxide and second is the water. So first one is the carbon dioxide will be emitted out and water will be emitted out. And it is also give the energy. Definitely when the glucose or any form of the sugar will be split out in the presence of oxygen, it will give energy and plant use this energy to stay alive. Okay, students, the next one is the equation. There is a differentiation between the equation of photosynthesis and respiration. First of all, we will observe the photosynthesis process. In the photosynthesis process, there is a carbon dioxide. Definitely from the atmosphere, we will get water from the soil by the help of the root hairs and energy. What is the energy here? Here we are talking about the sunlight, means sun's energy, and in the presence of chlorophyll. So there are six molecule of carbon dioxide and six molecules of water in the presence of the sunlight and the area is chloroplast. In this area, photosynthesis process will be done and it will give two components. First one is the glucose. The formula of the glucose is C6H12O6 and it also gives oxygen at the end of the reaction of the photosynthesis. Means when photosynthesis starts, carbon dioxide is taken in inside the leaves. It will get water in the presence of light and this process will be done inside the chloroplast. At the end of the reaction, there are two components will be formed. First one is the glucose and the second is oxygen. Now what will happen when this oxygen will be emitted out from the plants? So it is also be reused inside the process of respiration, or you can say that cellular respiration. Means this oxygen will also reuse by the help of the respiration. Means in the respiration or in the cellular respiration of the plants, glucose will be split out. This is the formula for the glucose. Glucose will be split out and in the presence of oxygen. Glucose will be split out or breaking down in the presence of oxygen. That's why we call that process oxidation process. Means something is breakdown in the presence of oxygen. So glucose will be breakdown in the presence of oxygen and it will give out carbon dioxide and water and definitely energy. If you want to observe that there is a carbon dioxide, water and energy as a byproduct of respiration, but in the photosynthesis process, carbon dioxide, water and energy is used to start the reaction of the photosynthesis here. Similarly, you can say that both are opposite with each other. So, there's basic differences between the photosynthesis and respiration. First one, food made. Definitely, what type of the food here? Here we're talking about the glucose. Means by the help of the photosynthesis process, food is prepared. And what is the food? Glucose. Glucose will be prepared during the process of photosynthesis. But when we talk about the respiration process, food is broken down. What is the food? Food is a glucose here. Means there is a breakdown of the glucose in the presence of the oxygen. So both are the different process. Second thing is Energy. Energy from sunlight stored in glucose. Energy from sunlight stored in glucose means, as we all know, at the end of the reaction of the photosynthesis, glucose will be formed, and this glucose will be used as our energy, and it is stored at and it is in the stored form when the photosynthesis process will be occurred in a form of starch. But when the respiration done, this stored energy means this starch, this glucose is released to give out the energy. This glucose will be break down to release out energy, and this energy will be helpful for the plant. Maybe it is useful for the growth process or the to stay alive or other or in these other different process. Similarly, we will move toward the point number 3, carbon dioxide taken in. As we all know, for the photosynthesis process, we use carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide will be taken in through the stomata during the process of photosynthesis. But in the respiration process, carbon dioxide and water will be given out. As we all know, in the process of the respiration, plant take in oxygen and given out carbon dioxide and water as a byproduct. So the fourth one is oxygen given out. As we all know, it is a continuous in the photosynthesis process. Carbon dioxide is used and it will give the oxygen as a byproduct. But in the respiration, there is a difference. Oxygen will be taken in as a respiration of the breathing of the plant. It is the important component. So oxygen is taken in. The fifth one is in the presence of chlorophyll, plants only, and in the respiration occurs in all living organisms, means the respiration process is a continuous process and it is done in all the living organisms. But when we talk about the photosynthesis process, the main targeted area for the photosynthesis is only chlorophyll, or you can say that chloroplast, because the chlorophyll is present inside the chloroplast. So the area for the photosynthesis process is chlorophyll, while in the process of respiration, all the body will be respire, means root, plants, leaves, all will be respire. Or even you can say that all the living organism will be respire from each and every part. And last one is light is needed. So what is the light? Actually, this one is the sunlight. So definitely in the presence of the sunlight, photosynthesis process will be done. There is no light required. Means if there is light, so no problem. If there is no light, if there is a light, there is no light. It is not affectable on the respiration process. So in the respiration process, there is no need of light. But in the process of photosynthesis, light is, or even sunlight is very important. Okay, students, here we will move to another topic, and the topic is photosynthesis and respiration maintains the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in nature. Means how and photosynthesis process and respiration process maintain the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in nature. This one is the diagram. By the help of this photosynthesis and respiration process, oxygen, the amount and concentration of oxygen and carbon dioxide will remain the same or in an equal proportion in the nature. So, there is an atmosphere. Definitely inside the atmosphere there is oxygen. This oxygen will be used by the animals and plants. Definitely when we respire, we take in oxygen inside our body. So animals and plants breathe in oxygen, means taking oxygen in. So at the end of the respiration, definitely we taking in oxygen and given out carbon dioxide. When we receive oxygen, our cells receive oxygen and give it out carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is useful for the plant for the process of photosynthesis. It is useful for the photosynthesis process. So similarly, you can say that the oxygen is used by animal, as the oxygen is taken inside the body of the animals or the plant, means both. Here we're talking about the both. because we know that plants also respire. So for the respiration process, oxygen is important ingredient. So oxygen is used by animals and plants, and it give out carbon dioxide. Then this carbon dioxide will again reuse by the help of the photosynthesis. Means, as we all know that in the process of the photosynthesis there's a requirement of carbon dioxide and water. So water will be received from the soil, but carbon dioxide is taken from the side. Means this carbon dioxide is useful for the manufacturing of food inside the leaf by the help of the photosynthesis process. And at the end of this photosynthesis process, oxygen is again used, means emit out from the plants. Similarly, you can say that both are the opposite process, means by the help of the photosynthesis and respiration, the concentration or the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide will remains the same in the environment. So both animals and plants take in oxygen and give it out carbon dioxide during the process of respiration. In the process of photosynthesis and respiration works in opposite ways to change the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide in air. As in the given diagram, oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide again converted into the oxygen by the help of two processes, respiration and photosynthesis. The third one is helps to keep, means the cycle is helps to keep the composition of air the same over the long period of time. What's the meaning of this? Means it will keep the composition. What is the composition? Means the manufacturing of air. So inside the air there are many gases. There are oxygen, there are carbon dioxide, there's a nitrogen. So for the composition of the air there are a lot of gases are used. So we can say that the photosynthesis process and respiration process will keep this composition of air remains same inside the atmosphere. So photosynthesis and respiration maintains a balance, means the gases in the air. This is the diagram which is present in your book on the page number 35. So photosynthesis and respiration maintain a balance. How we can say that? There is oxygen. See, okay, this oxygen is used by plants and animal as well for the process of respiration. Means plants and animals use oxygen to respire, and it will give out carbon dioxide. Means this one is the respiration process in the plant. So at the end of the respiration, carbon dioxide is given out. Similarly, in the respiration and the animals, carbon dioxide is given out. So carbon dioxide is, it is again, means can reused by the help of the plants for the manufacturing of food by the help of the photosynthesis process in plants. So there is the oxygen, it is used by animals or the plant, it will give out carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide will reused by these plants again for the process of photosynthesis. Means for a photosynthesis, for the photosynthesis process, carbon dioxide is the main or important component to start the reaction. So students, this one is the home task for today. Question number 1, write down the equation for the photosynthesis and respiration in plants. As I already shared in this slide, this one is the equation for the photosynthesis and respiration equation. Next one is differentiation between respiration and photosynthesis. It is also given in this slide. Make a flow chart on the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in nature and draw its diagram with labeling its four parts. So you can do it from your book, and it is also given in my slide. Pre-reading task. Read unit number 4, experiments portion on the page number 36 to 38 from your course book Amazing Science. So students, it's all for today. And in the next class, inshallah, we will focus on the experiment on this of this unit.